Thank you very much, Gerald. As you probably know, there's a football tournament going on, and the clever people like Gerald and myself who run events like this realised that there were only 2 days between the end of the, I think, the quarterfinals, or the last 16, and then the beginning of the quarterfinals, where you could hold an event without football intervening or distracting, and I think everybody else realised that as well, Gerald. There was a fault in our plan, because I think tonight you could have also gone to the British Homes Awards, to the Silver Awards. I can't think of the others, but I think I have 2 other invitations. Anyway, tonight is the IBP Magazine of the Year Awards, and it's my pleasure to talk a little bit about the judging and the commended entries and the winners. Gerald kindly provided me with a script, which I'm going to try and stick to. The first thing says, the judges had a clear run at this year's entries to both the subscription and the in-house Magazine of the Year award. I asked him what that meant, and he couldn't actually tell me, so I'm going to go off the script and just mention my fellow judges. Ruth Slavage, who's an architectural author, and Richard Anderson from Anderson Fraser, a design consultant. And we were chaired by the inestimable Giles Barry, who is the editor of Property Week. And I'm very much the layman amongst those in terms of journalism, but I have to say that the expertise with which they were able to spot a poor piece of graphic design, or an excellent piece of authorship, a scoop, or a story that probably they've seen before a couple of times, was really useful for those of us who really just looking for a good story that is very entertaining. And I think there were a smaller number of entries this year, which actually meant we gave a lot of extra thought and consideration to those publications. So I think there was a lot of good consideration and a really stimulating discussion about what it was that we valued and thought was worthy of both mention and winning. When we started the conversation over the judging, the first discussion was about whether there should be a category for digital media. And there was quite a complex conversation about what should be included and what shouldn't be included and how you judge it. But tonight we're talking about print media, and I think we were all on safe ground there in saying that what we thought were the criteria that were very important were the sort of old traditional values of a good story, a magazine well laid out from front to the end, good graphic design, good powerful images, stories and headlines that really drew you in. And we think that we've got nominations, and we have no doubt that I think together the categories in each of the winners really bore out those sort of old-fashioned qualities that printed magazine comes to. When it comes to the digital judging, I think they might have to choose people who've got a good idea of how that media changes what we want, and it may be some of us as well. So, first up, to the subscription magazine of the year. There are 4 shortlisted magazines in that category. The first of these, and I'm afraid at this point I was expected to turn around and see it up on the screen, but if anyone could be persuaded that they're all lined up in alphabetical order in there, if anyone wants to come out and sort of show the magazine, but if not, I will describe it to you. The first magazine is called Concrete, and it's the magazine of the Concrete Society. This tackles one of the industry's major materials in depth. It's an international magazine, so it's got technical information and case studies that are both inspiring and informative. The judges thought the design is elegant and approachable, good use of subheads, strong use of colour, imaginative use of photographs, and every bit as engaging as a commercial magazine. The second, Construction Magazine, which is the membership magazine for the CIOB, the Chartered Institute of Building. And cheers all around, please. Yes, please support your favourite magazine. It's called Construction Manager. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Yes, thank you, John. Construction manager. In the judge's view, it was packed full of interesting and varied information for a readership that operates in an increasingly complex world. The recent makeover that had produced a very competent design, typographically well balanced. This is the third consecutive year that the magazine has been on the shortlist, and having won the category 4 years ago. Thirdly, ICON. This stands for International Construction Review, and not to be confused with Icon magazine, the glossy table magazine that you can pick up in most newsagents, or Wallpaper, that should be confused with Wallpaper magazine of a similar sort. It also comes out of the CIOB stable. It has some really readable features. I would recommend you look at it, because it's one of the few magazines that really covers international construction issues and really opens up the world outside our more sort of parochial, although very important, London and UK world that Paul and Peter brought to life earlier. Good articles on Colonel Gaddafi, I remember, and the construction market there caught our eye. It helps to bind together a community that's working around the world, showing the problems and opportunities elsewhere, and of great value to a readership that's increasingly mobile. So I would, if you don't know it, have a look at that. It's very interesting. It's not one that you might see every day. And fourthly and finally, a new entry in this category, New London Quarterly. It's published by NLA, New London Architecture, for its members. It's an attractive, well-produced magazine with content that one really wants to read. It makes you feel that you're getting inside the heads of the people who are shaping the city, that being London, and sitting at the table with some of the best thinkers. The judges were quite taken aback, in fact, at how much value they were able to achieve with such high production standards in such difficult publishing times, and were very envious of those who are in the publishing world. We felt it would be at home on the coffee table or in a reception, but also it would be a good read in the train or a plane. And in an age where digital communication is becoming increasingly important, this is an indication of just how good print journalism can be when it's done well and with the highest production value. The results. We decided after our, as I say, very detailed and conversation and reading of the magazines, that we were going to award a commendation, and this is to Icon magazine for showing once again, as the title was commended last year, a deep understanding of its field and a strong nose for stories expertly told. Is there someone from Icon?
Congratulations. You're supposed to.
Is New London Quarterly. We now come to the in-house magazine of the year, and in this category we decided to shortlist 2 magazines. The first of these, Inside Ban Nuttall, and the judges, in their opinion, had the notes that we took. We wrote, to describe this magazine as parochial is a real compliment. It serves its readership, helps them to understand some of the exciting work that's taking place, as well as keeping them up to date with gossip, achievements, and the all-important hatch, match, and dispatch of company activities. One of the judges commented that if they were working for a small office at Ban Nuttall, I would feel that this helped me identify my place in a larger entity, and that it was addressing me and my interests rather than serving some nebulous marketing function. Secondly, 157, interesting in fact, for I think one of the first magazines I've come across whose title actually changes every time it's published. So I think we also have a copy of 158, and this is the dedicated staff magazine for Wilmot Dixon, providing information on its company's wide range of activities to keep members of the team up to date. The overall feel is fun, bright, engaging, with good typographic contrast, a consistent use of the grid, plenty of variety, and a good choice of images. And the results, The judges awarded, commended to 157 for a second year in a row, and felt that the progress made since its makeover last year continues to provide an interesting balance and a clear indication of forward-thinking building contractor.
Andy?
Is Andy here? The winner is, of course, Bab Nuttall, and where we thought there was a good flow through the magazine, providing plenty of material with lots of pictures, clearly put together. Again, the magazine clearly demonstrates a strong community feel these titles need to deliver. Congratulations to Dave Rogers. Dave, please come forward.
There you go, Dave. Carol, put your fees up.
Congratulations to all those involved. Thank you very much for entering, and I would encourage, if you have a magazine to enter, I know it would be wonderful to judge them again next year, if you invite them. Thank you very much. I think that closes the season.